Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red.
The WNBA is currently having a full-blown identity crisis, and I'm kind of living for it. A French 6'3" man that goes by the name Julie Tatar wants to now
That is a buff mother chucker.
play in the WNBA. This is a male who just dropped 21-20 in the French Women's League like it was a pickup game. Duh. And now two former NBA players and
6'3" mofo? Yeah,
Inez Cantor Freedom and Royce Weiss are declaring for the WNBA.
I'm so excited for this. I can't wait if, the WNBA teams are going to be, clamoring over for these guys and really, trying to recruit these guys.
And honestly, good. All they're doing is taking the WNBA at their word, and if the only...
Because if I was a WNBA owner, I would definitely be like, yeah, I want both of them. How do I get both of them on my team?
Anything that determines whether you are a woman is whether or not you feel like it, then who's to stop them? And here's where it gets even more delicious. A lot of this drama has just exploded after Sophie Cunningham and some other athletes had the nerve to say that we should protect girls' sports and spaces, which is an opinion held by the vast majority of this country, even the majority of Democrats. But none of this is new. For years, players, coaches, and owners in the WNBA have been preaching the gospel of inclusion. Self-identity, open the doors, Gender is a spectrum.
I'm a woman. That's all I have to be or say to be a woman.
We're very passionate about it, right up until the moment that two actual NBA-sized players decided to walk through those doors. And now the energy has shifted from love and inclusion to, wait, not like that. Because guess what? They all know what a woman is. That's why these two NBA players declaring is making them lose their minds. It's really easy to support this idea when it's theoretical. It gets a lot harder when a 6'10" center starts talking about how he's in his feminine era. At this point, honestly, I think the WNBA should actually accept all three, Julie, Inez, and Royce. If I
was a WNBA owner, I'm like, how the fuck do I get all three of them on my team? Is it going to cost me a lot? I'm still paying WNBA salaries, right? I'm not paying no retired NBA salary. I'm just saying. I'll definitely take all three.
They want to be consistent. Because if your idea of inclusion only works when it's the right kind of man dressing up as a woman, then it was never really about inclusion or acceptance at all. It's always been about pushing a ridiculous narrative to feed people's mental delusions and to sterilize a vulnerable portion of the population. Not to mention the fact that the WNBA was created for the sole purpose of excluding men. So now if you include men, it's not the WNBA anymore.
They forget, all sports are just called the sports name or whatever it is, NBA, NFL. It's not made for male only. It's just the top tier of that sport. And women just don't qualify. And that's why they were like, you know what? We'll give you girls your own little league here since you don't qualify to play with the big boys.
Yeah, I think that the WNBA is in trouble because you had to know that this was coming at some point.
It was so dumb for them to think this wasn't going to happen. Men love to troll. You know who's the best trolls out there in the world? It's fucking men.
You had to know that at some point people were going to test the limits in the same way that the limits were tested with the swimmer that wound up dominating women's sports, or the boxers and the martial artists and everybody else that was on the collegiate level. And then eventually the NCAA banned men from participating, or biologically born men from participating in women's sports, which was something that we shouldn't have never even had to get to the point of in the first place. Because if you think about it, right, rules are only created and made when people are doing stuff that's completely out of purpose, completely out of control. So if we had common sense, then we would never have to go into a space where we say, well, wait a minute, men or biologically born men can't participate in women's sports. We don't have a rule that says that women can't try out for the NBA. You know why? Because common sense tells you that women can't compete at that level in no way, shape, or form.
That's the shitty thing, Anton. Common sense went out the window. I don't know how long ago. Maybe 20, 30 years ago. I was going to say 20 years ago. No one has any... just observable truths people are not willing to say or speak anymore, which is crazy to me.
But we become so perverse as a society. We become so against God, against what God has deemed as natural and nature, that now we have to have whole think pieces, and entire organizations have to rethink and then figure out how they're going to address certain issues. And let's be clear, we didn't have to deal with this type of stuff when it was just the men, if we just keeping it honest. And women are the reason why we're having this conversation in the first place. And these perversions of what we think is right and wrong is the reason why we're having these conversations in the first place. Because most men that are logical have been trying to convince women that you should not be supporting an agenda that doesn't benefit you.
It like harms you in such a, like, it's a huge detriment to have men compete against your own kind if you're a woman. You're destroying women, like destroying women's sports. You're destroying like women's records, abilities to be able to hold records. Once men join and create a new world record for women, women will never be able to even come close to that new world record anymore. It's just impossible. You just created impossibilities for women.
There's no reason why we should have men in women's sports, or that we should continue to support this agenda where we say that women are whatever it is that you feel like at the moment. And so while men were trying to convince women, hey, listen guys, listen, I know we've civilized the world. I know that there's bigger issues that we need to address. This is probably one of the things that we need to leave alone, and we need to stop pushing this agenda of everybody need to be inclusive and included in everything, because there are gender roles and people are stronger and all of this other type of stuff. And
hey, I tell you guys now, I did not get picked first on the basketball courts when we were playing basketball in elementary school. I'm just saying, I wasn't the best. You know, little nerdy Asian kid that didn't speak English. Yeah, I got picked last all the time. Dude, I thought it was like, oh my God, I need to be able to play with everybody and get picked. I didn't give a fuck. You know, I got to play. I just wanted to play. You know, like, who cares if you get picked last or whatever the fuck it is?
You can't just make something that it's not. And the women said, no, we want to do this stuff, right? And so now we're in a space, you stuck between a rock and a hard place, in which we got this subsidized league that is not profitable, has never been profitable. And
hey, I'm just saying, once those three women come on the field or come on the court, it might be more enjoyable.
The valuation of the franchise is the only thing that the people that are invested in the league itself are depending on. It's inflated value of this trash league. And so while you have
Basura,
the owner of the Indiana Fever, one of the owners of the Indiana Fever, and then you have several other people, including the coach, that are pushing this agenda, men were like, hold on for a second. That don't make sense. Y'all are going too far. And I know that we have...
It's like men created the Women League to protect women, and then women destroyed their own league because they wanted to allow men to go. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, men protected you throughout, and then you killed yourself or you destroyed yourself.
The freedoms to do what you want to do inside of this country, but at the same time, you can't continue to push your agenda against what actually makes sense, because this is too far out there. And now you have men that are declaring, several different men. I've seen way more than just three. You have several different men that's out there dunking and playing.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait for this new draft year.
And like crazy, that are saying that they basically want to take over the WNBA because they feel like a woman at the time. So now how do you solve for this without being hypocritical and going against the very thing that you advocate?
Can you imagine the WNBA becomes just retired NBA players league? That'd be so awesome. I would watch that. Like, retired NBA players, like older NBA players trying to still keep up, might be more enjoyable than the WNBA itself. Just saying.
You can't. You're a fool. You can't. I'm answering a question for you. That was a rhetorical question. You can't.
Dumb.
It's foolish to even think that makes sense.
Seeing this debate all over my For You page recently, and I'm sure you guys have too. And Inez Cantor just made a video about this. He was a former NBA player, and his video kind of made me laugh because it points out the question people keep arguing in an exaggerated way, but also not really
His interview was pretty fucking funny.
Exaggerated. Personally, I support trans people, and I feel that everyone deserves respect and to be able to do things that they love. But I don't automatically think that transgender women should be able to compete in women's sports. As someone who played competitive volleyball growing up, I know firsthand how much physical differences.
It'd be like, what is it, Wedding Crashers? Boom! You just smack them right in the nose and just bust their nose. Yeah, that's men versus women in volleyball right there.
Matter in sports. If I had to compete against someone who has gone through male puberty, I would feel like I'm not even on the playing field.
Is this even something that we should be discussing?
It's not.
Like, do you really have to be a person that is experienced playing in women's sports for you to realize that men are physically stronger than...
I don't get why it's that way. Like, women try to smack men all the time. They're like, oh, it doesn't hurt you, you're a man and all this and that. Like, so you know I'm bigger, stronger than you. But yet you keep pushing the boundaries of how big and stronger than you I am.
And women, I was talking about this on the Millionaire Morning Show today, and I said, yo, if you get into a pillow fight and you hit a chick too hard with a pillow, you can knock her out.
Yeah, I've done it. I knocked her out because I knocked her off the bed. I smacked her so hard she flew back, landed on the fucking floor, and was like knocked out for a good 2 minutes. Hey, it wasn't domestic abuse, right? It was play fighting. It just happened to go rough.
As a man. Like the physical, pure brute strength of a man. You can't even play with a woman too rough without hurting her. And you got to really be careful and play with her with kid gloves.
It is so true.
Versus if you was wrestling with your brothers as you was coming up,
Shit.
It was really like, y'all, we just gonna get it in and we just gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So to hear this be a think piece from people and saying that you have to basically have experience to even be able to have this conversation is insane.
I hate that stupid, the way that thought process works. Oh, if you're not it, how can you ever know? I'm like, I'm not a lemon, but I know lemons are sour and yellow. I don't need to be a lemon to know that I'm sour and yellow. Like, what the actual fuck? You know, like, I don't need to be a doctor to know that you eat healthy foods, you stay a little healthier. I don't need to be a fucking mathematician to know that 2 + 2 is fucking 4.
To me.
I've played in many co-ed divisions, and the game is completely different than when I'm playing.
Playing co-ed is funny because we just ignore the girls. You know, like, we don't pass to them. We just kind of go around them and stuff. It's just really the boys playing with each other with women on the field. Against women.
To me, I feel like this is a fairness issue and not a hatred issue, like some people are arguing. It's just difficult because I don't really have a solution. I do feel like as participation grows, there could be a
you don't have to have a solution to call something bullshit.
Transgender league or division where athletes have their own space to compete. I know there's a lot of logistical challenges with that, but I feel like it's a conversation worth having because I'd love to see a solution that's inclusive and fair to everyone, because I do recognize that trans women should not be competing with males. I don't think that would be a very safe space for them.
So if you are a biologically born male, you can't compete with other men. Think
then
about
you don't compete.
So now we got to have all of these base head leagues and these modifications of leagues because y'all want to feel included instead of just rolling with whatever it was that you was born with.
And because you didn't have the skills or the genetics to be able to make it in the league, you just don't join the damn league. Like, you think my 5'7" Asian ass is like, man, fuck the NFL. Why don't they ever fucking want to recruit my bitch ass? You know, like, fuck them and not want to recruit my 5'7", 150-pound ass. You know, like,
competing on that level. We need to get women out of everything, bro.
Seriously.
Just stop listening to them entirely. That is the main reason why you see so much wrong with culture and society, is that when you start having women give their thoughts and allow for them to be able to do certain things to determine what men should do, it just goes bad every single time, bro.
But I also don't think they should be competing with women, because
Can they just not compete if they can't compete at the high levels of sports? There's also little leagues that pay a little bit less or whatever. Why do they have to be in the biggest league possible? Like, your skills do not qualify you in that league.
think it's unfair. We're just built different.
It's like, so the whole D1 athletes, the D2, D3, like, if you don't qualify for D1, so you just be put in D1 sports? Like, what the fuck?
And that's it. We're built different. That's just my opinion, though. What do you guys think?
Let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. I'm curious on what y'all thoughts are.
I think that most of men and most women nowadays can see the difference, experience the difference, and know the difference between men and women. And this is retarded. Full retard. I'm not talking about the guys going in. It's just the league even allowing it is the full retard mode. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Catch you guys next time.